Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, January 31st. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions, this will be a video for you. Before I get to the watch list, just want to first personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering next week. So if you're liking what you see as I go through the video and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can be used, how it should be used to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, then there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you're liking what you see, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Now, one quick note before I get into the stocks here. First off, the market's still open for a little bit of time. Not much, but it is still open, so you're not crazy. That price that you see right there is fluctuating around because, again, the markets are open. But it is close enough to being done for the day where the levels that I talk about are still going to be relevant as we head into next week. So to start things off, as I've been doing the entire week, we got to start with SPY, the S&P 500, the exchange-traded fund, the ETF. That just tells you what's going on with the overall markets because, as I'm sure you're aware, things have been a little crazy the past couple of weeks. And overall, good day today. As you can see, the price actually dropped all the way down here. Essentially went down to that green line, which for those of you that have watched past videos, you've heard me talk about that green line over and over again down around 426. Didn't hit exactly, but very close, and then got a very, very nice bounce to it. But on that note, yes, today, emphasis on today, has been a good solid day. But I would just say be skeptical because from a bigger picture point of view, nothing has really happened. What do I mean by that? Well, the price is still down below that pink line there, which, as I've been talking about, the 200-day moving average is the main area from a technical point of view. So, yes, it was a great day today. Nobody can deny that. But overall, I mean, nothing's really happened. If anything, all that's done is just continues to chop back and forth between this range. So the sideways channel is still fully in play here. Top of the channel up there at 442, that pink line again, 200-day moving average. Bottom of the channel down there at 426. But until the price actually breaks in one direction or another, then you can't really get too excited in one direction or another because right now this is just a chop fest. Down, up, down, and then once again today, back up. So a lot of choppiness out there. And I get it, today feels like a great day, and it was a great day. But again, there's more that goes into something than just a day. You got to look at a bigger picture. And bigger picture-wise, yeah, nothing really happened. But who knows? Maybe next week is getting set up for a break of 442. We'll just have to sit back and see what happens. Now, another note here before I move forward. We were just looking at the daily time frame on SPY, but moving forward, I am now going to be using the 30-minute. So if you're a beginner, all that means is each one of these candlesticks, as they're called, instead of representing an entire day like we were just looking at, each one now represents 30 minutes. So next one here, ticker symbol AAPL, Apple. They absolutely crushed earnings. And the last 30 minutes here sets up an interesting situation here headed into next week. As you can see, the price is now broken out during this last 30-minute candle, which, because the markets are still open for a little bit of time, you can still see that candle is getting bigger and bigger. And that's why I like to do these when the market's still open for a while, because you can actually see kind of this late day action play out here. But the point here being is that the breakout has happened, which now makes it completely valid to ask the question, hey, is this the start of something even bigger? Now think about that question. You can't ask that question unless something happens in the first place. But in this situation, something has happened. Again, what is the something? Well, the something is, in technical jargon, there's been a trendline breakout here. So does this breakout mean that it's guaranteed to go higher? Of course not. No such thing as a guarantee. But does that breakout mean it's a plausible, logical question to be saying, hey, this could be the start of something even bigger? It absolutely is. So keep an eye on that dynamic there. And as far as next potential areas of resistance, next big test for Apple moving forward, going to be right up there at the $171 mark. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, no doubt about it. Great late day break of that trend line. Let's see if this is, like I said, the start of just that much more continued momentum next week. Next one here, AMC, and a good solid recovery. So there, you can't deny that from the fact that, the price actually broke down below that green line there during that opening 30 minutes. And the price came all the way down here. But to give credit where credit's due, the price got back up to that green line, got above it, and then check it out. That green line went right back to acting as support. You can see right there, price bounce off of it. And then once again this afternoon, bounce off of it. So once again, 1425-ish, 1420, that range there, had been broken. But because the bulls were able to get back above it, you can see that it's literally gone right back to acting as support. So from that angle of things, nothing has changed. 1420, still going to be that main area of support. But like SPY, you got to be skeptical on this one. Sure, nobody can take away from the fact that this has been a great bounce. No doubt about it. But you got to factor in history here. And as history is showing, there has been lots of bounces, rejected, bounce, rejected, bounce, rejected. Now, let me be very clear. Does that mean that this bounce is guaranteed to be rejected? Of course not. There are no such thing as guarantees. This could very well be the start of a much bigger move to the upside. That is certainly possible. My core point here is that that would be against the normal historical trend at this point in time. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but you got to be aware. You can't just say that, okay, finally, all in, kids' college tuition, everything, because this thing has bounced. That's a very sketchy, maneuver on your part. So again, not saying that this isn't the start of something bigger. I'm just saying that it is still in a downtrend. And until that, the price can get up above that purple line there and stay up above it, I'd be very skeptical of any sort of upwards price movements. Next one, HOOD, Robinhood, insane. Crazy bounce in this one today to think that the thing gapped all the way down in there, started there, and then went all the way back up there. So very clearly a great bounce. But that brings about the question, but is there any sort of true power behind this bounce? And I have no idea, but the level that, in my mind stands out quite a bit is right up here at $11.25. Why is that level important? Well, if this is a truly strong bounce, well, the price is going to make progress forward. But think about that. Okay, yeah, of course, Clay. It's going to make progress, but make progress, those are just words. And that's why I love charts as a tool, because they allow you to take words and make them very visual and make them very, numerical. So you can quantify them. So in my definition, quote unquote, progress is 11.25. Because even if the price were to come down there and then head back up, what would you still have? Well, you'd still have a set of lows there. You'd have lows there. And if you envision those as stair steps, you'd still have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. And that's the name of the game, progress. So is this a truly strong bounce? I have no idea. But what I do know is that if it is genuinely powerful, it's going to show progress. And again, quote unquote, progress being defined as $11.25. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, the next big level to watch moving forward, going to be right up there at $13.50. So keep a close eye on that. But yeah, no doubt about it. Very impressive bounce. Let's see if this bounce can continue next week. Next one, LCID. And I talked about this in the previous video. In fact, talked about this bullish falling wedge pattern. But at least the chart was polite enough to not give everybody false hope, because it just flat out gapped down below that lower trend line and then just came back down. So at least there wasn't any sort of false breakouts or anything like that. So that pattern has been wiped away. But what is now interesting is that the price has shown some strength, right? Finally, the prices actually have the ability to draw an uptrending trend line. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Let me change this to green to represent a bullish attribute. But just because there's the ability now to draw this uptrending trend line does not mean that, okay, this is the guaranteed bottom. Of course not. My point, is it valid? Is it plausible to think that, hey, you know what? Maybe just maybe some sort of bottom is in. Maybe just maybe this thing is getting ready to try to stabilize back out. Yeah, not guaranteed, but plausible to have. So moral of the story there, as far as the important level of support to watch moving forward, you want to see the price stay above that green line there, because as long as the price stays above that uptrending trend line, that does imply that the price is now beginning to put in higher bases. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, key area to watch moving forward, going to be right up there at 28.50, so keep an eye on that, but we'll see how it all plays out next week. Next one, IMPP, and this one, I was hesitating, should I still put it on? And I'm going to go with it just because the main reason, such a well-defined area. I assure you that a bunch of people have drawn that trend line right there. And that's important, and I emphasize a bunch of people, and when I mean that around the world, because when lots of people are watching the same level, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. So as I continue to say, and will ongoing, if the price goes up to that level and breaks through it, is that a guarantee that the prices continue to move upwards? No. But is that a level that a lot of people are going to be watching and saying, hey, I'm a breakout player. Hey, it just broke out. Hey, I'm supposed to buy. And then they're going to buy. For no other reason than that, yeah, that's a very real possibility. So keep an eye on that trend line right there if you do like to play breakouts. If you prefer to play more of pullbacks, then there is an interesting level right there, that pink line, the 200 paired moving average currently valued at $1.95. So keep an eye on that from a pullback perspective. But yeah, if you do like to try to play those self-fulfilling prophecy, breakout type situations, then I think that trend line right there is a very good level to keep an eye on. Next one, NIO, very clearly a very popular stock. And which has been the theme, no doubt about it. You can't take away from the fact that this has been a very nice bounce right here. But there's still a whole lot of work that needs to be done. And, the overarching level and the level that in my mind makes the most sense to just continue to watch is that purple line there, as I've talked about, that 50 period moving average. Meaning, to be fair, like on AMC, who knows? This could very well be the start of a much bigger move to the upside. You can't sit here and say that that's not going to happen because there are no guarantees. But you also have to acknowledge that, yeah, it is still in a very massive downtrend. You have the, that 50 period moving average purple line sloping downwards. You have the 200 period moving average sloping downwards. So there's no doubt about it that the price is currently trying to fight against the trend right here. And that's possible. But like I said, from an overall, should you be super excited and say that the bottom is in? I'd be a little bit more reserved in that regard because there's still a lot of more work that needs to be done. Preferably speaking, moving forward now, if the price can stay up above that $20 mark, that would be great. Think back to the whole, is this a truly strong bounce? Well, let's see some signs of progress. And in this situation, that quote-unquote sign of progress would be up there at $20. But yeah, nice little bounce. Let's see if it can carry into next week. Next one here, AMD. And I'm not going to, well, I'm not patting myself on the back. I am patting charts on the back, though. The tool of technical analysis and why hopefully you get signed up for that free live class next week because, I mean, I put this line into place previously, and if you don't believe me, I'm not offended. You can go back and watch your videos in the archive and see that. But, I mean, check this out. I talked about 99.75. Price came down here, not once, but essentially twice, and now a very nice bounce, which potentially is a double bottom pattern here. Now, you got to be careful, and I'm going to be a broken record here because, yes, the price is still down below its 50-period moving average, which on AMD already has a track record of rejecting the price back downwards. Doesn't mean that the price will be rejected again, but like I said, you want to be a little bit more reserved and thinking that, okay, oh, finally, this is a reversal. No, this is a bounce, but it could be a dead cat bounce. So, yes, bounces can turn into reversals, but bounces can also just be dead cat bounces where the price rolls back over. But from a trading standpoint, and anybody that watched the previous videos, I mean, congratulations. For anybody that got in around that 99.75 mark, you're very up nicely on the trade there. But overall, potential double bottom, but still work that needs to be done. And that first bit of work is all about that 50-period moving average. Next one, XELA, and I had to do this one. I mean, check out the last 30 minutes there. Beautiful green candle. You can see the increase in volume. Still work that needs to be done. What does this work? Well, let me first just extend this trend line out that I've talked about in a couple of the past videos. But the good news here is that the price is now certainly within striking distance. So, of course, that doesn't mean that it's going to break through it, but now becomes a very valid question to be asking, hey, is a breakout coming? The price is within striking distance. Now it's just a question of, can the price just make another push upwards to get through that trend line? And if it does, then you can throw out the very plausible question of, is there going to be some self-fulfilling prophecy attributes, pertaining to it, where people that like to play these penny stocks would be buying because it's breaking through that trend line there. But like you said, the core dynamics here of this, I mean, and let me take a step back. It's not like the previous part of the day wasn't fine, but the last 30 minutes is what just kind of adds more spice to the situation. So things are getting spicy, but not quite there because the price is still down below that trend line. But point here being, if you like to play penny stocks, you like to play breakouts, this is one that I'd say put on your watch list. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and once again, not patting myself on the back, but I got to pat charts on the back. They truly are a tool that's not perfect, but has a very, wise and intelligent place within any trader strategy. And again, talked about 855 as a level of resistance in the previous video, and I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. Check out this fantastic bounce, and then, oh, look, right where the bounce just went sideways and then came back down. Right there at that red line. Crazy. Been using charts for almost 2 decades, and they still shock me sometimes at how well they can forecast things. But point here being now, from more of a practical point of view, 855 remains that main area of resistance. And the good news is the price is once again getting within striking distance of that area. If 855 can be broken, next key level of resistance will be that purple line, 50-period moving average valued right up there around, we'll call it 891. And you do have a support down there at 780, that green line, which you can see right there. But the other level to keep an eye on, and what would be the preferable situation, is if the price can now start to stay up above that trend line right there. I wouldn't call that a do or die level, but as far as what's going to make the chart look the best and healthiest moving forward, definitely if the price can stay above that trend line right there. But overall, nice little bounce here, but let's see if the bounce can continue into next week. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here, and if you're starting to truly see the potential and why this can be a powerful tool in assisting in building consistency, then get signed up for the class. Like I said, it'll be next week, Thursday, February 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern time. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make these videos, then please do 2 things for me. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment, say hi, tell me what you traded this week, tell me what you're watching next week. But those 2 things, hitting the like button, leaving a basic comment, communicate to me that you're enjoying these videos. And as long as I know people are enjoying, then I will continue to make them. But again, if you want to learn more about charts, how they can be used, how they should be used to build consistency as a trader, definitely get signed up for the free live class next week. So everybody take care. Have a good weekend.